In this video, we're going to discuss the 5 most important keys to building muscle. What's up everyone, Zach Nusser here bringing you another video. And if you want to build muscle in the most effective and efficient way possible, be sure to watch all the way to the end so you can learn the most important keys to muscle growth. Number 1, intensity. Intensity in training refers to the amount of weight that you're lifting. Some people will argue that the number of reps you do isn't important, but the number of reps you can do is directly determined by the intensity, which is very important. Meaning that if your reps are too low, you're likely lifting too heavy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you may end up prioritizing strength over hypertrophy if you can only lift 2 or 3 reps with the weight that you're using. Also, going too high in reps, like 30 or more, means that the intensity is likely too low to elicit a significant hypertrophic response. I'll have a video on light versus heavy loads for hypertrophy later on, but anywhere from 6 to 20 reps has been shown to be an effective rep range to shoot for, stopping just short of failure on most sets. Number 2, volume. Volume is a direct driver of hypertrophy. Studies comparing low volume to high volume training programs have shown high volume to equate to greater gains, meaning that in this case, more is better. Now, the jury is still out on how much volume is too much, so your best bet is to start with relatively low volume and work your way up over time. While more volume brings more gains, it also brings more fatigue, and in excessive amounts can lead to joint pain and recovery problems. The general guideline for volume tends to be in the ballpark of about 12 to 20 working sets per muscle group per week using the previously established intensity guidelines. Some people can grow from less than 12 working sets per week, and some people can handle more than 20. Everyone is different with drastically different genetics, training program, experience, and fitness level, so only use these general volume guidelines as a base in which to build your program upon, and make changes by listening to your body and adjusting accordingly. Number 3, frequency. Every muscle needs to be trained at least once per week in order to make and retain progress. But more frequency, when controlled for volume, has been shown to lead to greater levels of hypertrophy. Recent studies show that training a muscle group twice a week is superior to training it just once a week, though 3-time-a-week training doesn't seem to show much benefit over 2-time-a-week training. While smaller muscle groups like the biceps, triceps, delts, and calves can recover more quickly and can often be trained 3 times a week, larger muscle groups like the quads, the lats, and the pecs tend to recover more slowly. And because of this, they're often better left for training just twice a week. Number 4, nutrition. Now there's tons of aspects of nutrition that are important for overall health and fitness, but when it comes to just building muscle, there are a few really important keys to keep in mind. First and most importantly is protein. Protein is made up of amino acids, which are the building blocks of muscle. So in order to build muscle, you have to consume lots of protein. We'll go way more in depth into protein requirements in a later video, but for now, a good general guideline is to try to get in about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight, or per pound of lean body weight if you carry a bunch of excess body fat. Feel free to check out my video on my favorite high protein food sources in the card above. Protein isn't the only thing that matters when it comes to nutrition though. Your body weight is largely determined by your chronic energy balance or your long-term caloric intake. In order to build muscle mass, you have to increase your body weight through positive energy balance or a caloric surplus. Finally, although less important than the other 2 factors, an adequate amount of carbohydrates should be consumed in order to keep your muscles full of glycogen, allowing you to have more effective workouts, and the glycogen will hold water in your muscles, giving them a bigger and fuller appearance. And for carb sources, you can check out my video on that as well. Last but not least, number 5, progressive overload. So progressive overload is the process of gradually increasing your workload in order to force your body to continue adapting to make progress. As your body gets stronger and adapts to the stress of your workouts, you have to keep it challenged in order to keep it growing. In order to do this, there are various ways in which you can increase the demand from your workouts. The most obvious and common means of progressive overload is to increase the amount of weight that you're lifting. As a muscle group gets stronger, the most effective way to keep challenging it is to just make it lift heavier weights. That won't always remain the most viable option though, as your strength gains will eventually slow down, requiring you to get creative and come up with other means of progressive overload. The second option, and an increasingly more popular option, is to increase the overall training volume for the muscle group. And you can do this by either increasing the number of reps per set or the number of sets per muscle group per week. As we covered in the volume section, we know that more volume equates to more gains. However, you don't want to jump from, let's say, 10 working sets of chest exercises to 22 sets in the course of 2 weeks. And you don't want to try to go from 8 reps of a certain weight to 12 reps of that same weight the next week. Just like with increasing the weight, there needs to be a gradual increase over time, a progression. So those are the 5 most important keys when it comes to building muscle. Again, we'll go more in depth into a lot of these topics in future videos, but until then, you now have the most important keys to start making some gains. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on everything fitness. Leave any questions and comments you have in the comment section down below. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you guys next time.